Your chef. I am going live after coming back from church. And the reason why I'm holding my phone right now is because I wanted to give you a sneak peek of what I am making today. Because I had to get my dinner out the way early. Because, hey, when you come back from church, anybody, raise your hand. Do you like to stand in a long line after, coming from church? But wouldn't it be nice to come home from church and have dinner already made for you? Well, I got the bulk of it ready, okay? So I'm going to give you a sneak peek of what I have in my crock pot. Oops. Oh, yeah, look at that. Look at that. I did chicken legs, and I have sweet potatoes at the bottom. So that is pretty much warm and ready for me. I use my seasonings that I have that I've mixed up, and we'll talk about that later. Oops. So what I'm going to do now is get us started on my roasted vegetables, because I want roasted vegetables today, y'all. Got roasted vegetables. Okay, let me see if I can y'all excuse me, I'm still learning how to do this so I can see what you all are saying on the live. Oh, there we go. I appreciate y'all being patient with me, okay? So, what I'm going to do, now I gotta mute this thing. Hold on. I gotta mute. I appreciate y'all. Let's see. Where's the mute? Okay. So, there we go. All right, so I muted it. I don't know if I like the edited version better or live, but honestly, I love live better. I'm by myself, so I don't have somebody to do this other stuff while I do that or whatever. So this is your Chef Sonya King Kreations PCS, and you're getting me with all the little quirks and issues and stuff in the background. Husband might come out, and might hear my mom back there with her gospel music and stuff. But I'm here, y'all. I'm here. So what I'm getting ready to do, hey, I see one eyeball say hey to your chef, say hey to your chef. What I'm going to do is make some roasted vegetables. Y'all like roasted vegetables? Are you team roasted vegetables, or are you cabbage? Because I'm going to make cabbage too, to go with my sweet potatoes and chicken that I have in the slow cooker. All right. So let me see if I can turn this down. Oh, hope y'all can see. Yep. All right, so I got to try to figure out how to do this thing. And hopefully my phone won't fall in the... Uh-oh. I done something. Hold on. Here we go. All right, can y'all see? Let's see, I can see. And I got my tripod over my drawer, so you're gonna see my drawer. So what I'm going to do is I'm getting ready to oil these up and season it like I mean it, y'all. And what I mean by that, y'all, some of y'all don't season your vegetables like you're supposed to. Season it real good, because kids and some adults don't like vegetables because there's no flavor. Vegetables pretty much have a lot of water, y'all. Okay, so we're going to season this up. I was gifted some seasoned oil. This is Herb de Provence oil. I was gifted this for a housewarming, and it smells phenomenal. Put a little bit more. And we're not trying to drown it, okay? We're just trying to get it where the seasoning that I'm going to put on there is going to stick. We want it to stick, right? So I'm going to start in small batches, okay? I'm going to get this, use my hands like Mama and them used to do back in the day, okay? This, while it is a ready to eat dish, this part right here, I mean, because we could have this as a salad, right? But because I'm going to cook it, even if I use my hands, clean hands, I have to say, okay? I'm not concerned about that. So what we're gonna do is get this good and get it good and massaged. And I wanted thicker cuts of squash so that we won't have little bitty pieces of squash. I want some squash that's gonna give me something, you know, give me something, right? I need some squash that I can deal with in the oven, right? We want them nice cuts. We don't want them real small. We want nice cuts. So I want to get everything nice and oiled. And then we're going to take my seasoning. Now, I said I was going to talk about my seasoning. The seasoning that I have, this is mine. I actually made it up, okay? What it basically is, if you've watched my live, you know, or even just my YouTube channel, period, you know that I've talked about how I like to use garlic powder, onion powder, and I like to control the salt. Garlic powder, onion powder, granulated, mind you. I have to say I use the granulated one. Salt and pepper. And the salt that I like to use is either the kosher salt, oh gosh, I can't even think of it. Kosher salt, pink Himalayan salt, and yes, those salt. I don't use the table salt, y'all. When we know better, we do better. That was back before, you know, I learned better. I knew better, okay? So we're spreading this out on a cookie sheet. And I got my stove on 425 because I want these babies to get nice and browned, and it's going to be in the oven for about 25 minutes. 25 minutes. I have another one that I'm going to do. Just doing this in stages. So you're cooking with your chef on a Sunday. Y'all out and about. Maybe y'all went to Golden Corral or something. So again, we're going to get this nice and oiled up. And when I made my seasoning blend, it's, like I said, the garlic powder, onion powder. It has some parsley. Everything is dried, of course. Parsley. Oh, gosh. Things that I like to cook with, okay? Definitely the, what you call it, the red pepper flakes. See, the one's right there. That's what made me think about it. And I think that's, oh yeah, cayenne pepper. Cayenne. Because again, I really don't like having to be at the mercy of somebody else's salt. Because if you get those seasoning blends in the store, the first ingredient more than likely will be what? Salt. And I don't like that, y'all. So I, for years, have been doing my own, not making my own seasoning, but I have, you know, I use the onion powder, garlic powder, salt, pepper, and just, go from there with other seasonings like Italian seasoning, so on and so forth. So see, I got this big piece of onion. Yeah, we want that, this, ooh, that's going to be good. And so now we're going to put this in the oven. I'm going to wash my hands so I can put this in the oven. Talk to your chef, say where you're from. What's your name? Where are you from? Are you out and about? Have you eaten supper? Supper is before dinner. We had our little breakfast earlier. So I've washed my hands. Let me dry them. All right, so now I'm going to put this in the oven. I'll use 2 racks. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move on to my next dish, which is going to be cabbage. Cabbage, y'all. Now, my husband, he likes to keep the fond from bacon, and oh, bacon is flavor, y'all. Oh, yes, this is flavor. So I have cabbage that I did up last night. Well, actually, I did it today. I'm sorry. I did it today. And I'm just gonna have vegetables on top of vegetables. I mean, I love vegetables. Let me give you a little crash course in nutrition. If it's not meat, seafood, or fat, then it has carbs in it. Okay? So vegetables, I don't like to vilify food saying good carb, bad carb, or good food, bad food. The vegetables are your carbs that are, maybe I should say they're figure friendly. I don't know. I'll come up with some kind of way of explaining what I'm talking about. It's a resistant carb, okay, because it's vegetable and it has fiber in it. Same like the sweet potatoes, okay? Sweet potatoes, they're better than the white potatoes, but we're not going to vilify the white potatoes either. I'm just saying on the nutrient dense, spectrum, whatever you want to call it, sweet potatoes beat out the white potato, okay? So we got our cabbage. I'm going to get some butter out of my, no, I'm not going to get butter. I'm not going to do butter today. So that's the thing about when you're cooking. You can do things however you want it, okay? However you want it. So I'm going to let this heat up a little bit more. I don't have one person saying hey to your chef. You're not going to say hey to your chef. Talk to your chef, y'all. Talk to your chef. So I'm just getting this a little heated up. And because I need just a tad more, I want to make this interesting. I'm going to use some of this herb oil. I got it, so I'm going to use it. Make sure if you get some of those gourmet oils, they look cute, y'all. If you get some of those gourmet oils, make sure that you put it in the refrigerator. Check the expiration date. Those things are important. Make sure you look at all of that. So what I just put in here is what some people will call the cooking starter, soup starter, or whatever. Trinity. Trinity has onions, peppers, and celery. And this, you could do a mirepoix too. Mirepoix is when you don't have you have the onions and peppers and carrots. Okay? So what I'm doing is I'm getting that I'm going to let this sweat so the yummy pieces down here can loosen up. Oh, look at that piece of bacon. It's just calling my name. I like that. That looks good. So I don't see anybody saying hi. Y'all must be out and about. But don't forget to talk to your chef. Say what's going on in your life. Cooking is therapy for me. What about for you? Is it therapy? You know, like last night I had a little bake fest. Haven't done that in a minute. I baked 2 different things. One is I did some banana fudge brownies. Ooh, y'all talking about something good. And I'm going to put this cabbage in here. I'm going to do it in stages though, okay? Banana fudge brownies. They were so good and moist. Yeah, yesterday was supposed to have been let me watch what I eat day. Yeah, when I took one bite of that brownie, it was game over, y'all. Game over. So I'm going to season in layers. Alright? So I'm going to put a little bit of seasoning on here, this part. Then I'm going to come back with the other cabbage. Now, cabbage has a lot of water in it too. So it's going to help me get those yummy bits at the bottom. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. Oh, it smells so good. Smells so good. You see, the cabbage is helping me get those yummy bits off the fond. That's what we call it, the fond. Alright. So now we're going to come back with the rest. Should be able to do all of it now. And we're going to season this. And what I love about my seasoning is that I control the salt. There's not a lot of salt in my seasoning. And I did a double batch? I think I did a double batch. I'm going to put a little bit of oil on top of the cabbage. And this is good olive oil, so this is a heart-healthy dish. Cabbage is like one of my go-to dishes that I love to make, vegetables that I love to make, sides, whatever you want to call it. Do you have a go-to side that you like? Maybe it's green beans, or like on a Sunday, some people do, a lot of people do, not cabbage, greens. Yeah, greens, y'all. Today I'm not doing that, I'm doing cabbage. So we're going to let that sweat some. Look at all those. Look at that. That just looks like, ooh, that's good. That looks like that's good. I'm going to put some stuff in the refrigerator. Come back, chat with you for a little bit while we let that cabbage do its thing. I'm still here, y'all. Still here. So this would be considered, I know I'm way away from y'all, sauteed cabbage. Boiled cabbage is fine too. I've done that as well. But I like the sauteed cabbage better because I think you get more flavor. Okay, so now I'm going to try this. I always tell you, you got to try your food. single-use fork. We're using a fork because this is cabbage. I gotta be able to pick up some stuff. Whoa, that is good. This is my, ooh, I can feel that heat. I feel that heat back there, y'all. But I need a little bit more salt. So I'm using my pink Himalayan salt. Going around a little bit. I control the salt. I control the salt. Not getting it from not knocking the seasoned salts, okay? I mean, we got a couple of them in here, but I like to do it myself. Have another fork, okay? I put the other one over here. I think again it needs a little bit more salt. Now I'm working on my seasoning, y'all. My seasoning mix. I want to get it to where I like it. It's definitely got that heat level that I like, that little kick at the back. So I'm probably going to have to kick up my salt just a tad. Definitely want some cracked black pepper, and black pepper is in my seasoning, but I'm working on that. Again, I'm working on this, but I really like how everything is. Ooh, that smells so good. So this is actually done, but what I'm going to do, so that, because some people, you know, like it to, I don't want to cook the you-know-what out of my cabbage. So I'm getting the rest of that fond out. I want it to have some crunch, okay? Yeah, that looks so pretty. And I'm going to give it a taste one more again. There we go. There we go. All right. So I'm going to put the lid on. And let it cook just a tad more. And while it's doing that, I figure, hey, I'll chit chat with y'all for a little bit. You can see my stuff in the background. Ooh, I got one eyeball. One eyeball. Say hey. And maybe, I don't know if YouTube does like Facebook where, you know, you got somebody looking but you can't see the chat. So I don't know, maybe I'll see the chat later. But right now, the dinner is in the oven. I mean, the vegetables are in the oven, they're doing their thing. And the main dish, the chicken and slow cooker, the chicken and the sweet potatoes are in the slow cooker. So I'm basically just waiting for the vegetables. I mean, honestly, if I really wanted to just go ahead and eat, I could go ahead and eat right now. Okay. It's a beautiful day in the ATL. Temperatures woke up to in the 60s. Wow. You know, we went from 80s, flirting with the 90s, to now it's in the 60s, and I'm loving it because I love sweater weather anyway. But so cooking, baking, I talked about, you know, I did a little bake fest last night. I really enjoyed making some brownies, and I made some banana crumb cake. Took some to church today. Church approved, you know, brethren approved, if you want to say that. And my baker man, my husband, he approved of it last night. It's got that streusel topping on top, and he loved that crunch. He was all about that. But my thing was the brownies. I love the banana fudge brownies. That was my thing. And I put some chunks of chocolate on the inside. Ooh, yeah, that was my thing. So Yeah, your chef, I think I've told you. No, I know I've told you. I am a cookbook author now. I also have a memoir book that came out back in 2021. So these are some of the things that you will, especially cabbage. I've done cabbage. I did cabbage one way in the cookbook, and then on my live, hey, just not my live, my YouTube channel, you'll see I've done it a few other ways. Just like now, I just did it another way. So, hey, if you're interested in my cookbook called Creations Station Cookbook Volume 1, I will have the link in the description so that you can do that. But if you can, pop back in. Don't forget to say hey to yourself, talk to me, let me know what's going on in your world. I would love to hear what's going on with you all. I appreciate you coming on. If you see yourself eating up what I'm dishing up, like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I really appreciate y'all. All right, so I'm going to get out of here and try my best to remember to take a picture of the finished dish so that it can be the nice little thumbnail. All right, Chef Sonya King with King Creations PCS, and don't forget, a recipe is just a guide. Create it the way you want, using your heart and your head.